Hey everybody, it's Dave. How y'all doing? Doing pretty good for Friday. Hey, it's the weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all those of you out there that are mothers. Um, I know a lot of mothers watch this, so happy Mother's Day to you. So earlier today, somebody posted about protein pump inhibitors (PPIs) and how it may reduce the frequency of Meniere's disease. Now, little tidbit for everybody: if you see somebody posting something and you see highlights in it, that's usually an AI post. Um, so this is actually the AI post that the person wrote, and I'm going to go to the National Institute of Health afterwards. So I'm going to read this real quick. Um, Research protein pump inhibitors (PPIs), omeprazole, pantoprazole, may reduce the frequency of Meniere's disease vertigo crises. Research suggests that because the gastric type proton pump exists in the inner ear, PPIs could control vertigo. Studies show PPI users with MD had significantly fewer attacks, often less than one a year, compared to non-users. Okay. Different potential potential benefit. Although a retrospect study found 72% of MT patients using this PPI and less than one vertigo crisis per year compared to 16.7% of non-users. The hypothesis is that PPIs inhibit the labyrinthine gastric type proton pump, which plays a role in the pathogenesis of Meniere's disease symptoms. While some data suggests improvements, others report no difference in symptoms. Caution against long-term use. Long-term use, it actually can trigger vertigo, and it can actually increase your sudden sensorial hearing and hearing loss and tinnitus. Now we're going to go to the NIA, the NIH. Okay, and it says Meniere's disease and the use of proton pump inhibitors. Take a wild guess when this was written. 2010, 16 years ago. The AI thing makes it look like it's brand new. Okay, it's not. This was written in 2010. And once I get to the part, you're not going to believe when they actually did this. And just wait, you're going to be shocked. You're going to be surprised. The first part is basically saying the same thing on a basis previous of observation examine the possibility of favorable effects of proton pump inhibitors on Meniere's disease. Preliminary steps was made retrospectively analyzing the number of metric crises in group of patients suffering Meniere's disease using PPI for other reasons compared to group Meniere subjects who never used PPI. Now, let's stop for a minute because I've talked about this before. How, oh Lord, I took it one time. Wellbutrin, okay? Wellbutrin, back in the 70s, was a new antidepressant drug. It was to help the soldiers coming back from Vietnam who were suffering from depression. And if you've been to battle, I never have, but if you've been to battle, you can get depression really quick. And what they were noticing was it wasn't so much helping with the depression as much as helping these guys quit smoking. Now, they were all heavy smokers, okay? And like 2 weeks into starting it, they just weren't smoking anymore. And the doctors asked them, did you want to quit? And they were like, no, we just don't feel like smoking. So they did a longer study and found out that Wellbutrin does help people quit smoking. Propecia, if anybody knows what that is, it's a medication that is actually prescribed to help with hair growth. No, I'm not taking it. I don't want to take it. I like being bald. It doesn't bother me at all. Same thing. That was developed as a heart medication to help with your heart. And what they found was people they were giving it to, it wasn't so much helping with the heart, but all of a sudden bald guys were getting hair. So they changed it, did some studies, found out it actually can do it. So now we're going to get to the principal part of it, the other part of it, the methods. Between, take a guess at this date, January 2001 and December 2006, 42 patients. 42 is not a lot of people. When it comes to the number of people with Meniere's disease, 42 patients isn't a big number. Okay? So 42 patients affected for MD were examined in a tertiary referral center at the University Hospital in Bologna, Italy. It's not Bologna, it's Bologna, Italy. And in the private office of an ENT specialist in Cassino, Italy, within the study group, 18 patients used PPI for various reasons for at least 12 consecutive months, while 24 patients never had prescribed them. We recorded the metric number of the crisis observed in the period. The mean followed-up period was 21.9 months, statistically analyzed, performed by means of 2 times testing, and a significance was defined, whatever that p greater than 0.5. Results, now it says most MD patients, 72%, PPI suffered at least one episode Meniere's crisis per year, and it's the same number as before. The conclusion, even taking the limitations of the retrospective study, sorry, some words I just can't say, into account, the reported data nevertheless strongly suggests it's a possible role for the proton pumps in the pathogenesis of MD. This could lead to interesting developments contributing to MD therapeutic possibilities. Now they did do more. They did do some more testing, and it didn't do anything. Okay, it really didn't help as much as you think. Okay, and you got a number. You got to remember the numbers here. This was done in. I mean, this study was actually done. What, 2001? 25 years ago. And the results weren't printed out until 2010. This is not something new. They tried to see if it would work, and obviously it didn't. Because I've never had all the ENTs I've seen, otolaryngologists, neurootologists. I have never had somebody ask me to take omeprazole. Okay, because it's basically a stomach drug. I know my dad took it. He had a lot of stomach problems. And as a matter of fact, he ended up dying from stomach cancer, which was brought on from the nuclear bomb tests he was in the 50s. So, but he took omeprazole a lot, and it helped him with the stomach. But he didn't have Meniere's either. But, you know, it even says it in the other thing, too, that if you take it long enough, you're going to start losing your hearing, sensorial hearing, and other things. So it's really not something you want to try, okay? Unless you talk to a doctor who actually, an ENT who actually agrees with this, okay? You really don't want to try it. And this is what I mean by taking shit thrown against the wall and seeing if it sticks, and then posting an AI thing about it, which AI is going to make it look like it's brand new. Like this is the next thing that's coming, and it's not. Okay? And omeprazole is sold over the counter. So if you wanted to try it, you could on your own. But there's a lot of risks, and you really should be talking to a doctor about it. And the one thing I will say, and then that'll be it for this. Stop using AI. Stop it. It's not good for medical development. It's not good for medical things. It's just not. It makes everybody think that they're doctors. You're not a doctor. So stop. Be reasonable. Okay? That was the first time I ever saw anything from a stomach drug that would help Meniere's. And I've been in these groups now for what? Since 2017, so 9 years, and I'm an admin of 3 groups, and I've never seen somebody do that post about omeprazole. And lately, it's been a lot of things that I've been seeing that are just off the wall. Chlorine dioxide, and somebody's gonna say, "Oh, well, it works for me." Well, good, and I'm glad it does. You know, even semaglutides. I mean, it reduces inflammation. Well, I wish it did. I wish it reduced enough inflammation so my friggin' hip and back would stop hurting from falling a few months ago. But let's be reasonable. Let's be practical. Okay? Let's think. Let's just start doing AI research and then post it as if it's gospel. And on that note, have a great weekend. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.